Hi, my name is Jerry Baker. I'm the Vice President of Sales at Cook's Pest Control, where I'm tasked to lead and develop advancements within the sales arena for my company, serving those men and women that's both serving our consumers as well as our businesses. So our residential sales inspectors going and sharing our products and wares to consumers, as well as to those that are consultants going and sharing from a business to business scenario and providing services to those leaders. I started my career here at Cook's Pest Control in September of 2005. I started as a sales inspector, where I quickly attained President's Club, promoted to the sales manager, district manager, and then ultimately regional sales manager, director of sales, and then finally as the vice president of sales. I've been serving as vice president for about 8 years now here at the Decatur, Alabama corporate office. I'm a DeVry Institute graduate, and where I studied electronics. Like many of us in the electronic arena, we quickly transitioned from component level kind of focus into the IT arena. And I remember where we began the whole connectivity with the PCs being connected. In that arena, I quickly worked through that and navigated those landscapes, attaining certain credentialings and certifications, and just moving throughout the ranks. I work with various companies in the IT arena, such as GE, which was a technology management services component, as well as IBM, and other various positions. But I've led in that arena, in the IT arena, district management, as well as region management, and then director of national training. And I was a national training director there at IBM. Great question. How did I come to Cook's? I started my career, as I've indicated, in IT, serving there for 25 years. Pretty successful in that arena. Found myself going out and starting my own consulting business. In my consulting business, I found that I was serving many system integrators. In fact, one in particular was a $2.8 billion operation. Had the occasion to serve there and provide various service and staffing and various programs, best practices, if you will, within that arena. Unfortunately, one day they came in and they closed the doors. A $2.8 billion operation closed the doors. I, like many other business leaders, had many of my eggs in that one basket. And when they closed the doors, it took me about 5 years of navigating the landscape and going in. And then we came into a very difficult crunch. And during that crunch, I wound up losing my business. And I had to go out and get a job. And so when I'm out getting a job, I'm in a program to become a general manager and selling automobiles for a very big organization, $20 billion operation. It's AutoNations. And so as I was serving there, I wound up selling a vehicle to a gentleman that worked at Cook's Pest Control. And because of the conflicts within my personal belief systems, I wound up leaving that program with AutoNations, but I found myself being called by this guy who I sold a car during my tenure there, and his name was Mark. And Mark kept calling me and saying, "Hey, you should come over to Cook's Pest Control. It's a great company." And I said, "Yes, Mark, I'm sure, but pest control is certainly not what I was interested in. Having been in IT, I just wanted to pursue other avenues within IT." Well, I'm a man of faith, and one day I'm up praying after having told Mark no for six months or better. I'm upstairs praying and just seeking my counsel, where I would wind up asking the Lord to just say, "Lord, tell me where I need to be and open the door that's specific for me." Well, while on my knees, I get up, I go down, pour myself a cup of coffee. My phone rings. I answer the phone, and guess who it was? It was Mark Wyrostic. And while I'm talking to Mark, I say to him, "Oh, I'm not there. So if you have any needs for your vehicle, let me refer you to someone." He says, "No, I'm actually calling for you again, Jerry. I know you told me no for many times, but I really feel that the Lord wants you to come to Cook's Pest Control." Now, it's kind of odd because I just prayed a prayer and then all of a sudden the phone rings. So, oh my goodness, I said, I'll come. And so when I began my career there, having no intentions of really staying the course for very long, I thought I had given him my word that I would stay at least 1 year just to kind of see the landscape and to navigate and understand the industry. And as I began to get into the industry, I began to see such important work that we do. The pest control industry provides health and protection and property protection, and we mitigate many risks and tasks or challenges that's coming against homeowners and people that have allergies to various pests. I mean, even to the point of death. And as I began to understand the importance of pest control, I began to understand that this is a great and honorable industry. And as I began to navigate throughout the whole process, I found myself just falling in love with the idea or the ideals of coming in and providing services for various consumers as well as businesses. Even to the point where you think about pest control and you think about our food supply and the importance of pest control in our food supply, because it's a competing source. Many of the pests are absolutely after the same things that we're looking for, the food, shelter, and they're looking for the water or moistures, and they find it oftentimes in the same food sources that we're looking to. So in finding that and understanding that we are an essential business, the pest control industry, and seeing the importance of what we do, I found it very easy to just fall in love with this task of serving and providing these great services to so many. And as we are beginning to go through and seeing those various services that are being provided, I also find that I'm honing in on all of the skills that I've learned for many years before. Coming from information technology arena, I'm using IT that's fastly growing into a role where information technology is a staple within our industry. So I'm honored to come and share and to invite you to come and be a part here in an industry that's honorable. It's great. It does great work, and just an amazing industry. I love selling, so I'm honing and using my skills in sales. I love business and being a business leader, and I'm utilizing those skill sets within this market space. So like many of you, I don't know of many folk that's come into the pest control arena where they just simply said, hey, I want a career in pest control. There are a few, and we honor those entomologists and those folk that's doing great work and helping us and teaching us. But it's just absolutely amazing when you begin to pursue and understand those things. It's great abilities to come in and to lead and to do great work. So if you're looking for honorable work and wanting to come in and be a part, I'm honored to come and just invite you to come in. Like me, I'm sure you have the mindset that I had. You probably think, oh, pest control, it's just Billy Bob going in with a can and spraying around the baseboards and those kinds of things. But it's becoming far more technical. It's becoming far more important. It's making sure that we attack pests where they are, and we provide those kinds of services to prevent those pests from ever gaining access to homes and things of that sort. So it's a great work. And so in the industry, what do we need? We need leaders. We need great leaders with great education, great backgrounds, great honor and integrity to come in and to not only grow through the ranks, but also to become our future leaders. I think it's, if I had to say it best, we need folk that's going to bridge the gap. There's many that's come before us and done great work, and we're needing the other leaders to come on and continue forward this great work that we do of serving our industry. What's my favorite insect? That's an interesting question. Well, let me answer it differently. I'll tell you what my favorite pests are, therefore. First off, I would say the roaches, the German roach in particular. I'm amazed at the resilience of the German roach, the studying the habits and the harborages and making sure we can kind of know how they morph and how they grow and how they're resistant, and just watching their life cycle and seeing how resilient they are to survive. And it helps me with understanding life, just watching the German roach and how they continue to go. The other would be the fire ant. I'm amazed at the fire ant and how it navigates and moves around. And it's such an intricate part of our industry, being the fire ant, and how do we come in and provide control? Because there are, again, many folk that are at risks for biting and stinging insects, but the fire ant in particular, I've seen specifically where fire ant has caused personal health challenges. So the second would be that of the fire ant. Third would be that of the rodent. But rodents are amazing as well. They're very similar to us, and their plight to go around and to gain access and to grow and to breed and to tear into our food supplies and to wreak havoc on our homes and our businesses. One of the biggest risks that we have is certainly rodents coming into our homes and our food supply and causing all kinds of challenges in our life. And then finally, that of the termite. Termite I've seen do so much damage, and the kind of damage that they do is detrimental. It costs billions of dollars in the damage or the repair costs that's caused by termites. And so when I think about specifically the subterranean termite, where they come in and they do so much damage, it intrigues me to be a part of this industry to help mitigate all of those challenges and or those risks to our homes and our properties and even our health. And those are four of the key pests, if you will, that I find as my favorite because I'm just intrigued by them. I know they are very necessary to our ecosystem, but I also see that we need to make sure that we can prevent them from coming in and doing the kind of damage and harm to our space as we live. I'm excited, and thank you for this opportunity to come and talk about my interest in the pest control industry. It's my hope that there might have been something that I've said or shared that might be of interest for you, that would get you too excited to come and be a part of such a great industry and to do such great work. So thank you again, and come on aboard. Take care.
Hello, my name is Ciola Henderson, and I'm one of the training instructors here at Cook's Pest Control, located in Decatur, Alabama. We have a number of branch offices and districts throughout the South, and I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity to talk to you about my career here with Cook's and in this industry. I started my career at Cook's in the service department, commercial service department, about 19 years ago, and I've had a career with Cook's for the last 19 years. I've been a training instructor for 4 of those years. I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity, and I know it's not the norm to see a female in this industry, but there is opportunity for everyone. It's one of the things that I'd like to hopefully get across with this presentation. Now, Cook's has been established and been in business for at least 93 years, and we're so grateful for the opportunity that we've been provided to work for this company. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Brian Cook, our president and CEO of the company, as well as Mr. Joey Harris. He is our Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. Mrs. Kristen Stevens, she is my training director, and also Miss Faye Golden. She is the Vice President of Governmental Affairs here at Cook's Pest Control. So all of these people are very, very instrumental in providing this information for you, as well as our wonderful marketing department here at Cook's Pest Control. We are a great team. We work together, and we're just very, very thankful for this opportunity to hopefully perk your interest in entomology and in the pest control industry. So, starting off, again, I mentioned about myself. I've been with Cooks for 19 years and as a pest control technician in the commercial division for 14 of those years. I've had the opportunity to see a good bit and to meet a lot of wonderful people. I've made a lot of wonderful connections in this industry, and it's just really been quite a blessing to me. So today I just want to talk to you a little bit about the state-of-the-art facility that we have here, and hopefully it will again show you that there's so many diversified points and aspects of entomology and pest control. So just come along with me and let's take a tour. So here in this area we have created an area that is a daycare area where we train our employees and what to do in these areas as far as treatment. Of course, children are never present whenever treatment is performed in these areas. We follow a process what is known as IPM, and that is the abbreviation for Integrated Pest Management. And with those processes, we first of all do a thorough inspection. Then, of course, we identify what we found during that inspection. We look for why that insect or that pest is able to live and survive in those areas. And so we look for sanitation issues. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that's an area where there's filth or dirt, but sanitation mainly means what is allowing that pest to survive in that area. Then we look for exclusion issues. Why or how was the pest able to get into those areas? And then last but not least, we treat. So in this area, this is our break area. It's dual purpose. Not only do we use it for training, but also as the students are here for class, they also use this area actually for their break area. We keep beverages in the fridge for them, but during class, yes, this is an area that we do inspect for pest issues for our customers. Now here in this area, this is set up as an office area and it is an actual working area. Cooks is spared no expenses with details and taking care of all of the areas that someone might encounter out in the field. So we take time and we talk about different scenarios and even in office areas where a technician, our service personnel might run into an issue or a customer might have a complaint, and we teach them what to do as far as inspections in these different areas as well. So here at Cooks, we also service both daycares, we service schools, middle school, high school, you name it, and also upper education. So we service colleges. Here's an example in this area of a college dorm area, and we train our employees on what to do in these areas as well. We also talk to them about looking for specific pest issues that might occur in these areas, and then also about talking to maybe residents about sanitation issues that might occur that could possibly be a conducive condition for pest issues. Again, this industry is all encompassing. Wherever there's a human presence, we can be present and we can help to solve problems. So here in this setting, we want to just talk to you a little bit about hotels. It could be a motel, Holiday Inn. Y'all know that reference, you'll laugh. We control pests in a number of areas, and our goal again is just to control the pests. We're not trying to eradicate pests from the world, but we control pests in our customers' environment, and one of the environments could be a hotel area. Oftentimes the stays are short term, and sometimes people bring extra things with them, and so we can provide a service for customers. Potential issues can be mitigated quickly with our processes, with our IPM services. Okay, so again, a lot of thought has been put into what a new trainee or new employee would need to know about the pest control industry, about the services. So here you see we have a store type of setup. We have a lot of items on the grocery store shelves, but oftentimes the issues could not just be on the shelves, but maybe even underneath the shelves. We have our area in the back right here for self-serve. Now, in this time of pandemic, and issues with social distancing, there aren't that many people utilizing these areas. But once again, we will again go back to normal life, and then these areas again will need to be protected against pest issues. One of the things I want to say about this industry that is so valuable to know is that we have been deemed essential by the CDC and by our federal government, and that's big. So you think about this area right here, no matter what the pandemic issue is or what other issues we're facing in society, you don't want pests on your food. You don't want pests on the items that you need to purchase on a routine basis. It could be rodent issues, rodents crawling across these issues. All of these things, insects crawling across and getting into items, all of these things have to be taken care of on a routine basis, whether there's a pandemic or not. And I thank God that we are still considered essential even during this time. So here at our academy, we want to just take a look at another area that the company has set aside so that the students can train, and this is in a medical facility. Definitely, this is the mock-up of what a hospital room would look like, and so whenever we're treating in these areas, of course, there is no patient in the room or in the area, but we do have processes and we do have products that we can use to treat even in these areas that have low impact and minimal invasion in the area, but also very effective in controlling pest issues. All right, so another part of the Cook's Academy of Customer Service is our treatment area, and what most people consider commercial pest control is this is our restaurant area. So this is our dining area. We have a number of places that we train our technicians to check for pest issues, as well as to do a number of processes in order to do preventative services. So we have our dining area. We have even items on the wall that we encourage them to take a look at. We encourage them also to help to educate the customer with things that they can do as far as making sure that their facility is not conducive for pests. And so we are able to point out conducive conditions as far as sanitation issues. So hey folks, again, we got another area right here at our academy. Gosh, you look around, you can see that the company has really done an excellent job in providing all that a new employee would need in order to train and have an idea of what they will encounter out in the field. In this area, we train them actually, again, through the IPM process, doing a thorough inspection, identifying what they find during those inspections, and then identifying any sanitation issues. Sanitation meaning whatever is going to allow that pest to survive in that account. They need food, water, and they need a place to live. And then last but not least, treatment. And our treatments are so concise and so precise that we can actually treat at the height of lunch in a restaurant without making any impact on the processes of the customer as they're providing and cooking and providing food for their customers. So this is a great area that Cook's has provided, and I just really think that the spectrum for pest control, for entomology is really broad, and sometimes we kind of make it rather narrow, like the guy that's just walking around with a can of spraying baseboards. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Pest control is just quite detailed and intricate and quite interesting. So I just encourage everybody, hey, just take a look at this industry. Take a look at it. It's been very beneficial for me for 19 years and so many others. And I think that it could really be a lot of fun, learning about entomology, about insects, about their behavior, about biology, and how we can actually control them in someone's environment. So again, I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. We're going to give you another view of the entirety of the kitchen as we close out, but I hope you've enjoyed this portion, this segment, and hopefully if you have any more questions that you'll reach out to us. We're here at Cook's Pest Control. We're located, our home office in Decatur, Alabama. My name is Ciola Henderson, and I thoroughly enjoyed speaking with you on today.
Hi, my name is Jason Kiefer. I'm an Associate Certified Entomologist, and I'm employed at Cook's Pest Control, one of the largest family-owned pest control companies in the United States. And my job here at Cook's is a training supervisor, and I've been with the company for 14 years now, and I spent my first 6 years with the company as a technician out in the field doing pest control work, and that's something that I really enjoy doing. And right now my job is to help train people as they get into this industry to make sure that they can do a good quality service for our customers. And originally when I started in pest control, I didn't really think that this was going to be a way of life in my future, but I started out after high school, I started working for public housing in the maintenance department while I was going to school at night. And I really enjoyed that job, but part of my job while I worked for public housing was to go ahead and take care of pest issues at customers' apartments. And went ahead and was state certified. So we would have our regular times that we would be scheduled to go to the tenants' apartments and take care of any pest issues. And that was part of my standard job, was to make sure that they were taken care of in that manner. And then as I started thinking about career years down the road, I wanted to get into something that I would make a bigger difference in people's lives. And I was very fortunate enough to get a job at Cook's and to be able to take care of folks. And the reason I find this job rewarding is because we not only take care of people's property, make sure that their home isn't fed on by termites and their possessions aren't damaged by beetles and other stored product pests, but we're also protecting people's health. And there are a lot of industries that do one or the other, but here at Cook's, we are very fortunate enough to be able to take care of people's property as well as their health. And there's a lot of opportunities for us to make sure that kids aren't stung by wasps or fire ants. And we have folks that have loved ones that are allergic to certain type of insects, and they could possibly be harmed. And it's a great feeling to know that you're protecting people and you're making a difference in their lives. Every day people are injured in some manner by insects and pests, and we're able to do a service for them where we're protecting them and their property. And to me, that gives me a great sense of accomplishment and knowing that we're really taking care of people and making a difference in their lives and changing folks' situation for the better. So that's what I really enjoy, and my opportunity here at Cook's to be able to train folks allows me to not only influence people directly, but also indirectly affect a lot of folks by the people that we train. And we have a wonderful facility here that I'll give you a brief tour of. This is our residential training facility, so everyone that comes to work at Cook's is going to come through our training program, and part of that program includes going through our residential training facility here, and we show people real-world applications, how to take care of pests, to include termites, as well as ants and spiders and roaches, and it allows us to have hands-on activities where people can make sure that they are doing things correctly in accordance with the label and state regulations, but also effectively in making sure that our customers are protected and taken care of. So we're here in our training house garage, and this is a typical garage that you would see just in any residential area. And not only do we have the possibility of having termites coming up through the cracks in the slab as well as the expansion joints, but a lot of folks have things in their garage that could possibly lead to pest issues. And over to the side you can see we've got some Coke cans and a recycling bin, and if those aren't cleaned properly, you can have all kinds of pest issues like ants as well as stinging insects that could be attracted to the remaining product that's in that Coke. And then beside it we have a cat litter box, and roaches and rodents could possibly come in looking for a food source and try to feed on some of that. And then beside that we also have some dog food or cat food, and of course rodents and other pests could possibly get in there and feed on that material also. So a big part of what we do is not just controlling pests with pesticides and trying to kill things, but a lot of what we do is integrated pest management, where we try to affect the conditions that allow the pest to be able to survive and to live in a certain area. So if we can change pests' food, water, or shelter, we can directly affect the ability of that pest to be able to stay in a location. And that's a big part of what we do. We try to have as least minimal impact on the environment as we can, but still make sure that we're controlling pests and doing a good job for our customers and protecting them. Here in our residential kitchen, we have some situations set up that people would find in a real life scenario. Pests that you would typically run into in the kitchen would often be ants, as well as German roaches, and rodents are very common, and also stored product pests. And all of these can affect someone in a negative manner. Rodents can carry diseases, and they can contaminate with their droppings and their urine, which could possibly spread diseases onto people's food and food contact surfaces. So it's very important to make sure that we are controlling these pests. And a lot of the things that we do control are beneficial in some areas outside of a residential situation. So having knowledge of the biology of the pests allow us to control them, but still make sure that we aren't affecting the environment in a negative manner, and we're protecting people's health and property. So over on the counter here, we do have an example of some stored product pests. We have some flower beetles that are in this container, and we can show folks what the stored product pests look like, as well as what we can do to make sure that our customers are taken care of. But a lot of what goes into our service is education on the customer's part to make sure that they understand what is harmful, and then what is possibly just an unavoidable outcome of some of the food processing situations that are taking place. Here in our mock bathroom, we can run into several different types of pest issues due to the moisture that's created just on an everyday living basis from the plumbing that's going to be coming into the bathroom that's needed for the commode, as well as the shower and the sink. So here in our bathroom, we have the wall cutaway, so we can demonstrate to people the voids that are going to be inside the walls. And up underneath the bath trap area here, we have access to the crawl space underneath, as most homes do. So not only insect pests, but also wildlife could possibly get in under the house and find its way up into the plumbing areas. And we have often found feral cats and possums or raccoons making nests and having babies underneath people's bathtubs. And that would be, of course, a big issue, because they can breed diseases, and they can also bring in parasites and other things into someone's home. That would need to be addressed and taken care of. But it's very important to know identify the type of pests that you're dealing with. That way we can do effective controls to make sure not only to take care of that problem, but also prevent it from happening again in the future. So here in our residential bedroom, one of the main issues that we run into with our customers is going to be bed bugs. And bed bugs are a real big problem in the United States right now, especially in areas where people are living closely together. So when you have folks in apartments and buildings that are in a tight geographical area, you do have a larger possibility of transferring bed bugs from one location to another, and they will get into furniture that's transferred from one person to another, and also get into people's clothing if they visit an area that has bed bugs. So any place that people stay for any length of time, maybe they're sitting in a movie theater for a few hours or sitting in a waiting room at a doctor's office, there is the possibility of having bed bugs that were previously deposited there by someone else get onto a person's clothing or into their possessions, and all it takes is them to bring it back to the house, and wherever they're staying in the house, such as a bed, bed bugs are going to be attracted to that area to possibly get a blood meal. So that's something that's very important, and the good thing about bed bugs though is we don't have to worry about them transmitting any diseases, but we do have to make sure that we are controlling those and taking care of them, because that is not something that people want to deal with, worrying about when they sleep at night whether or not they're going to have a parasite that's going to be feeding on them. Fabric pests are also something that can be a detriment to people in their home, and people don't often think about natural fibers that they have that fabric pests could feed on. But we have an example here of a taxidermy duck, and we could have carpet beetles that would feed on that, or sometimes people have decorative feathers that they use for displays in their home, and that's a possibility of having some fabric pests that may feed on that. And once they start to feed, if you can't find the source, they can multiply very quickly and then start to inhabit other areas of the house as well. So it's very important for us to do a thorough inspection and make sure that we're taking care of any pests and any conducive conditions in areas that we find that need to be addressed with the customer, educate the customer on what they can do to prevent those problems, and make sure that it's not going to be an issue for them in the future. It's important for us to make sure that we're doing a proper inspection in the entire residential facility. So even in the attic, you have the possibility of having pest issues. You could have rodents living up in the attic, as well as silverfish, and there are a number of different insects and pests that could be up here for a lot of different reasons. So inspection is very important to make sure that we are taking care of all the issues that could be affecting our customers. Crawl spaces can be a very big part of the overall health of the home. So we want to make sure that things aren't able to get into the crawl space. And in our mock crawl space here, we have a few examples of some controls that we can do to prevent conducive conditions for pests. And also on the pier here, we have a mock-up of a termite mud tube, as well as an above ground station for baiting those termites and making sure that the structural integrity of the home is not damaged from termites. And while we're in the crawl space, we also do a proper inspection to make sure that we don't have any other issues that would need to be addressed with the customer, to make sure that their home is properly taken care of. And I can't stress enough the importance of prevention, making sure that we can solve problems before they even become a problem. So the goal of our pest control service is always to make sure that we are preventing these pest issues before they can become a problem and they need to be addressed. Prevention is extremely important. We always want to have the best interest of our customers in mind as we do our service, to make sure that we are giving them the best value and we are taking care of them. When I was younger, I didn't really think that pest control and entomology would be an important part of my future, but I'm glad it is something that I chose, because it's an extremely rewarding career. I'm able to help take care of people's health and property and really make a difference in people's lives. And to me personally, it gives me great satisfaction knowing that folks depend on me and that I'm able to make a real difference and protect folks, and just know that at the end of the day that I've done a job well done and I've made a difference. And that's a wonderful feeling, and I encourage you, hopefully you can have that same type of sense of accomplishment in what you choose.